Christian Horner's sacking from Red Bull happened 2 weeks ago now, just after the Silverstone Grand Prix, when there was a big break in the F1 calendar. The gap between races will have given his replacement Laurent Mekies a chance to settle into the team and get a grasp on what is happening before this weekend's Belgian Grand Prix at Spa. It has also given the rest of the grid a chance to consider what this means for them. In particular, the top three teams of Ferrari, Mercedes and McLaren are pretty happy that with Horner gone, Red Bull should be destabilised slightly, potentially securing their positions for the rest of the season. Mercedes and McLaren both have a spiky history with Red Bull and Christian Horner, and Zak Brown has wasted no time in getting a boot in while Horner is down. Today, I'll check out the shocking comments that the McLaren team have made about Horner in the lead up to the Belgian Grand Prix, so don't go anywhere. Before Christian Horner was removed from his position at Red Bull Racing, he had spent the best part of a year at loggerheads with the McLaren F1 team. In the week leading up to the Silverstone Grand Prix, Zak Brown applied some serious pressure to the Red Bull team, highlighting just how bad they'd been this year amid the talk of Max Verstappen moving to Mercedes. Brown said, "Red Bull would be behind racing bulls without Verstappen. They have done a great job and have a great car. I think Max is carrying them at the moment." The McLaren boss also told people to stay tuned because there might be another chapter in the Verstappen-Mercedes links. Verstappen carrying the team was something that the Red Bull board could no longer ignore, it seems. Earlier in the season, Zak Brown publicly said how much he and Horner disliked each other and said that he has absolutely no problem voicing his opinions on his rival. "Oh, it's genuine. There's no love lost there. I don't like how he rolls, and no doubt he feels the same about me. But I think it's good for the sport. You need different characters. You need these rivalries. Some are friendly, sporting rivalries. Some are a bit more vicious. It's always been like that." Brown said that amidst an ongoing campaign by Red Bull and Christian Horner to try and hamstring the McLaren team. The Papaya team's tyre temperature management has baffled the grid this season. Speculation over the particular method of heat management went wild after Red Bull Racing reportedly came into possession of thermal images that showed unusual cool spots around the MCL39's rear brake drums that were red hot for other cars, prompting the FIA to do multiple inspections of the McLaren car before putting the matter to bed by saying they had simply done something very clever. One theory that Red Bull pushed to the media was that McLaren were using water to cool their brakes, something that isn't allowed under the F1 regulations. In Miami, Brown poked fun at the ridiculous suggestion, this time using a prop to make his point. TV cameras captured him drinking from a water bottle stickered with the words "Tire Water" during FP1. The water bottle was poking fun at a serious issue, which his teams have historically made allegations of other teams, Brown said when asked about it. Most recently, one team focuses on that strategy more than others. There's a proper way to protest the team at the end of the race, and you have to make it formal, disclose where it comes from, put some money down. I think that process should be extended to all allegations to stop the frivolous allegations which are intended only to be a distraction. I think that would be a way to clean up the bogus allegations that happen in this sport, which are not very sporting. This mutual dislike of each other stretches far further back than McLaren's recent ascension to the top of the sport. When it was announced that Red Bull Racing breached the cost cap in 2021, the season that Max Verstappen won the Drivers' Championship over Lewis Hamilton at the last race of the season, it was actually Zak Brown and McLaren who led the offensive to get them penalised, not Toto Wolff's Mercedes side. It was Zak who penned an open letter demanding transparency over the investigations, which really ignited the rivalry between the two. Now, with his rival gone from the sport, the McLaren team principal has taken the chance to get the final word in. Brown told Canadian television channel TSN, "I may be surprised by the timing, but not the result. There's been a lot of drama there the last couple of years, and it doesn't seem like that drama has been calming down. Maybe been getting worse. So I'm not surprised, anytime in the middle of the season. It is a brutal way to get the final word in on a rivalry that has provided such entertainment to F1 at times." However, Brown is far from the only person who is unsurprised to see Horner go, even if the timing is a little of a shock. Just the week before his sacking, we here at F1 Reverse predicted his exit was imminent. With the investigations into Horner, the exit of Newey and Wheatley, and the drop-off in performance, it was clear that something was going wrong, and Horner was the casualty of that. Brown hasn't been the only McLaren team member to poke fun at Red Bull in recent weeks though. But before I talk about that, if you are enjoying the video and want to catch more news and analysis on the current F1 season, or catch one of our deep dives into what's happening in the sport at the moment, such as our video on how the future of Red Bull is bleak without Christian Horner, then press the like button and subscribe to F1 Reverse. Thanks a lot. Coming back to Red Bull's accusations of McLaren cheating earlier in the season, and the theory of the team somehow using water to cool their brakes, Lando Norris recently mocked Red Bull for that theory, calling them childish for even thinking they would do something so basic. You learned that in preschool, he said, speaking on F1's Beyond the Grid podcast. It's been very amusing seeing what people can come up with and just create out of nonsense. For a team to try and get back to being on top, and sometimes, it's individuals coming out with just some bizarre theories of water and tires, or in the brake ducts and all that stuff, which means you're doing it the right thing. You're doing a good job if people are having to come up with such nonsense. McLaren have the freedom to fire shots at Red Bull at the moment, as their former rivals can't respond on or off the track. Apart from the qualities of Verstappen, Red Bull really have no advantage over McLaren, and the last thing the former champions want to do is remind everyone of just how hard Verstappen is carrying them at the moment. Even before Horner was sacked, Verstappen had very little hope of catching the McLaren drivers, and he knew it. He ended the first half of the season 69 points adrift of leader Oscar Piastri, with no signs of making any impact on that gap either. Verstappen said he doubted Red Bull will be able to match McLaren's performance anytime soon. If everyone knew what they had to do, then everyone would be winning races, or at least everyone would have a chance of winning, Verstappen said. In F1, unfortunately, that is not the case. It's a very complicated sport. Verstappen has taken 4 pole positions so far this season, but McLaren's superior race pace means he's only won twice. Of course, we're not where we want to be, he said, but we're still fighting for podiums. It could also be way worse, driving last. It's a work in progress. We are trying to find performance in the car. Of course, last year we were hurt a bit with our balance issues that we had with the car, so we also had to first understand what was going on there. For sure, that has also probably hurt a little bit the future development of the car this year. But we're still trying everything we can to be as competitive as we can be. Now, is that going to be McLaren level? Maybe not. Probably not. That's how F1 goes. With Horner now gone, they will definitely not be getting to McLaren's level this season. If Red Bull still had any hope of holding out for a championship this season, then Horner would have remained. With him now gone, Red Bull are turning their attention to next season, accepting that the damage this season has already been done, with a poor balance in the car that wasn't resolved over the winter. If Red Bull had managed to find some answers to that problem last winter, then perhaps Horner would have stayed, but their shocking decline in form couldn't be ignored, and it seems that the McLaren team are enjoying it. What do you think of Brown taking a dig at Horner after his sacking? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and until next time, drive safe and bye for now.